Hey everyone, and welcome. Ever felt like you understand English perfectly when watching a movie, but freeze up when trying to speak? You're not alone. Did you know that the average English speaker uses only a fraction of the words they actually know in everyday conversations? That's right. So, the key isn't just knowing more words, but being able to use the words you already know fluently and confidently. In this video, we're diving deep into practical techniques to boost your English speaking and listening fluency, so you can finally ditch the hesitation and start expressing yourself effortlessly in any situation. We'll be exploring simple yet powerful exercises that you can start using immediately to improve your listening comprehension and unlock a smoother, more natural speaking flow. Imagine holding a conversation without that awkward pause, confidently sharing your ideas, and truly understanding everything you hear. That's the power of fluent communication, and it's exactly what we're here to achieve. We'll be covering everything from active listening strategies and shadowing techniques to practical vocabulary building and pronunciation tips, all designed to help you navigate real-world conversations with ease. Plus, stick around until the end for a bonus tip that will completely transform the way you approach English learning. It's a game changer, trust me. So, are you ready to unlock your English fluency potential? Let's get started. The acrid smell of burnt toast permeated the air, a stark contrast to the chirping optimism of the birds outside my window. My stomach grumbled, a hollow echo of the breakfast it craved. I sighed, staring at the blackened remains in the toaster. This was not how I envisioned my Saturday morning. My name is Amelia, and I'm a writer. My routine is usually sacred. A strong cup of coffee, 2 pieces of perfectly toasted sourdough with a smear of marmalade, followed by an hour of peaceful writing before the city fully wakes. But today, my muse was apparently taking a holiday, replaced by the smoldering ghost of my breakfast. Amelia, everything all right down there? My roommate, Liam, called from upstairs. Liam, a boisterous aspiring musician, was the antithesis of my quiet, introspective self. Our living arrangements were an unlikely but surprisingly harmonious blend of chaos and calm. Just a minor culinary disaster, I called back, trying to inject a note of humor into my voice. The smoke alarm, however, seemed to disagree with my assessment, emitting a shrill, insistent beep. Liam thundered down the stairs, a whirlwind of concern and bedhead. Burnt toast? Is that it? I thought the place was on fire. He peered into the toaster, wrinkling his nose. Whoa, that's impressive. You could forge weapons with that. Very funny, I deadpanned, waving a tea towel at the smoke alarm. Any chance you know how to disable this thing? Sure do, Liam grinned, effortlessly reaching the button I'd been straining to reach. Silence descended, blessedly replacing the piercing beep. So, he said, leaning against the counter. What led to this crispy catastrophe? Distraction, I admitted, running a hand through my hair. I was mulling over a particularly tricky plot point in my story and completely lost track of time. My story, a historical fiction piece set in 18th-century England, had been consuming my thoughts for weeks. I'd been struggling to find the right tone, the right words to capture the era's nuances. Liam, to his credit, listened patiently as I explained my writer's block, the intricacies of character development, and the elusive narrative arc I was chasing. Sounds like a lot on your plate, he said finally. Maybe a change of scenery would help? Let's go grab some breakfast at that little cafe down the street. Their pancakes are legendary. The idea was tempting. The thought of fluffy pancakes, drizzled with maple syrup, was a welcome distraction from my burnt toast woes. Okay, I agreed, grabbing my keys. But you're buying. Speaking practice. Practice speaking this sentence aloud, paying attention to the intonation and rhythm. Sounds like a lot on your plate. Maybe a change of scenery would help? At the cafe, the aroma of coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air. We settled into a booth by the window, and Liam, ever the social butterfly, struck up a conversation with the waitress, effortlessly weaving in a joke about my burnt toast incident. I chuckled, feeling the tension of the morning begin to dissipate. "See," Liam said, nudging me with his elbow. "Crisis averted. And you might even get some new material for your story. Who knows, maybe one of your characters burns their breakfast and it leads to a pivotal moment of self-discovery." I smiled, the thought sparking a new idea. Maybe a burned breakfast wasn't such a disaster after all. Perhaps it was a catalyst, a small disruption that could lead to something bigger, something more interesting. As I watched the people bustling on the street outside, snippets of dialogue, expressions, and gestures began to weave their way into my imagination, fueling the story I had been struggling to tell. Vocabulary explanation. Acrid. Having a strong and unpleasant taste or smell. Example. The acrid smoke from the fire stung my eyes. Catalyst. A person or thing that precipitates an event. Example. The burnt toast incident was a catalyst for Amelia's new story idea. Back at our apartment, the smell of burnt toast had finally faded, replaced by the fresh scent of a new day. I sat down at my desk, a renewed sense of purpose filling me. The burnt breakfast, the unexpected conversation with Liam, the vibrant atmosphere of the cafe. All these seemingly insignificant moments had coalesced into a new perspective. I began to write, the words flowing effortlessly, fueled by the unexpected inspiration of a burned breakfast. The clatter of pans from the kitchen interrupted my flow. Liam was making pancakes. "Thought you might need some fuel for that creative fire," he called, his voice a comforting presence in the quiet apartment. "Thanks, Liam," I replied, a genuine smile spreading across my face. Perhaps, I mused, a little bit of chaos was exactly what I needed. The pancakes arrived, fluffy and golden, a stark contrast to the morning's earlier culinary disaster. As I savored the sweet taste of maple syrup, I realized that sometimes, the most unexpected events can lead to the most profound discoveries. And in the case of my burned breakfast, it had not only fueled my creativity but also reinforced the simple truth that even the smallest moments can hold the greatest potential for growth.